Personal logs. Tape 91. Personal musings. Psycho handler Vincent Fernbeck. Security code 911 Sigma 88 79 32 10C. It has been a while since I took the opportunity to record myself. It has been, I think, since the last time I gave you my musings on the mine. To be quite honest, I am unsure what I am doing here. It is 3 days until High Command expects me to turn over the psych evaluation of Marjorie. It is 3 days until I am going to tell them the same thing I have told them the last 4 times. I know what they are going to ask me, and I know what I am going to answer. They are going to ask whether or not Marjorie can be useful on frontline duties. And I will respond with saying no. She is still too unstable, and I will recommend that she is sent back to Holy Terra for re-evaluation. And, as always, High Command will say no. The Odessa Crusade demands its psychers, and its psychers it shall have, regardless of the potential dangers. And that is why you are their handler, to deal with the potential dangers. I am unsure how to properly deal with Marjorie. Our biggest problem is the fact that she draws too deep. To be quite frank, she is not powerful enough, and that disturbs her. I am led to believe that on her homeworld people look to her for guidance of some sort. I am led to believe that she believed herself to be a very powerful individual. It is a common enough trait amongst psychers, and soon enough they realize that they are not as powerful as their peers. Soon enough they learn that most psychers are woefully inadequate compared to some of the more powerful ones. I still remember the first time she met her Epsilon Plus psyker. Fear and terror in her eyes, as should be, but also something else. That accursed defiance, rivalry, jealousy. I have seen it affect too many psychers. Whenever she ends up in a stressful situation, whenever she ends up in a situation that she cannot fully control, she taps too deeply into her powers. It tends to backfire. During this mission, I've already seen it happen twice. She was left, quite literally, a smoking ruin at one point. Yet she refuses to calm down, refuses to heed my warnings. So what can I do? The only thing I can do is sit on the sideline and pray that when the time comes that she finally steps over the boundaries, that I still have a bullet left for her brain. I guess I should take this opportunity to talk about the mission. Let it not be said that I did not leave recordings of the happenings from the perspective of a handler for whomever or whichever might come after us. It was a simple enough mission. Command wanted us to infiltrate an enemy stronghold. We were to enter into the Hive City, and we were to place a beacon. We were then to exfiltrate. And the beacon will be used together with 2 others for a triangulation strike of a Lance battery from orbit. Some plan, I guess. It would remove the enemies, that is for certain. I wouldn't have been so apprehensive about it if it wasn't for one major detail. We have been issued Spook. I do not think the others truly appreciate what it means when a psyker is given spook. Spook has long-lasting mental damaging effects. Any psyker that uses it for more than a month straight is most likely going to end up in a mental asylum. Or, more likely, they are going to be consumed by their own powers and die. It is incredibly addictive. There is only one reason for High Command to issue spook to a psyker. It is if they expect the psyker not to live. If they expect the psyker to die, they give them spook, so that before they die they can make a difference. High Command does not expect us to return from this mission. Not surprising. If we are supposed to exfiltrate the same way we came in, we are going to have to place a beacon and fight our way through whatever comes to stop us from doing so. We are going to die, yeah. And I'm uncertain if it's a comfort or not. Whatever the case. When we approached our infiltration point, we learned that it was blockaded. So, we found an alternative route through one of the few nearby buildings. Once we were inside, we must have triggered some sort of silent alarm, given how quickly the enemy mobilized to defend against us. I do not think that they were guarding the station as much as they were making sure that nothing escaped out of it, which is a disturbing thought. But given what we found inside, not a surprising one. I do believe I found out why this is an abandoned system of rail networking. Once inside, the first thing that greet us was a psychic ritual. And the rogue psyker. It is a disturbing thought that there was a rogue psyker, because I had not been informed that the enemy had access to psykers in any regards. Which means that either that High Command is unaware of their existence, or that they did not deem it fit to inform the handlers that their psykers would head into a psychic battle. I am uncertain which is the most terrifying prospect. We defeated them. The squad was efficient. The squad. I guess I should take a moment to record my thoughts in regards to them. It is only proper, I guess. The lead one is a man known as Iris Kaiser. He is covered in so many scars that I am uncertain that even his mother would recognize him. Useful in combat, carries chainswords. I'm uncertain about how he was promoted. So far, I have not seen him do more than yell a few orders, at best. There is something heartening about the way he goes to battle, chopping apart enemies without regards for his own safety. Jealousy, maybe. Not that it matters much. Most of the time, he is charging things too big for him. A man would seem to have a death wish, though I have seen him shrug off blows that would have fallen a bigger man. I guess that's why he's a sergeant. A veteran. He displays a soldier's most important quality: staying alive. The next of interest would most likely be Oren, the new man. We met him in the mines when his entire unit had been decimated. He smiled in happiness, but I have seen the way he stares off into the distance at night, when he thinks everyone is sleeping. Not that I am surprised. But he still grieves them, and he hides it very well. His companion and loader is noble true and true. Grounded in reality, that one. I don't much like him. There is something about a man being able to stay calm through all of this that unnerves me. It's like he knows more than he's telling us. Iskander is a stormtrooper. They are always a problematic lot, those. They know how to deal with Sackers, but all they're ever told about Sackers is fear-mongering to keep them from forming relations. Not that I have much against it. Still, our stormtrooper seems to be of the particularly dense kind. A type of man who made stormtrooper not due to a tactical knowledge, but rather because he can shoot a gun. He lost a leg when we were assaulted on the train wreck. I don't expect he'll be seeing the morning sun. I'll mumble a prayer for him tonight. Finally, there is Raffian, the commissar. That one is particularly problematic sort. Commissars and Sackers tend to have a volatile relationship. I've been trying to get on his good graces. It is more likely that Marjorie will survive to become useful if she is not shot by the commissar. I gave him the permission to shoot her should I die. Give them a fine sense of self-importance. Tends to be the most efficient way to deal with store or any type of officer staff when it comes to Sackers. If they believe that they are in control, they're easier to deal with. I haven't spoken much to Apollo as of late. He is my favorite member of the squad. But he seems down in his dumps. Even his enthusiasm is dying in this accursed place. And that should have us all worried. Whatever the case, once we had battled our way through the station, we were assaulted by the Xenos again. Those things from the mines. I'm uncertain about how many nights I've spent out trying to convince myself they're not real. Just a figment of our imagination. Never to step outside of that mine. Not that it matters much. Not that it matters much at all. We defeated them and drove them off. I find it difficult to talk about what happened next. Personal note. Make a separate tape in regards to the exposure to the Xenos. In simple terms, they were the most powerful Sackers I've ever laid my eyes upon. My cyoculum implant caused a pain unlike anything I had ever experienced before when I laid eyes upon them. It's a terrifying experience. To meet something that powerful and know that it is toying with you. I will have it recorded here that I did not agree with the plan to work together with these creatures. But I guess we have no choice at the moment. After we boarded the transport, we were attacked again. Once again, we emerged. The stormtrooper lost a leg, and the sergeant was... he was cut apart, almost. Survived by the skin of his teeth. Marjorie was hurt. I couldn't help but hope that she would die. If she dies, it means that I will have a better opportunity to get off this world. I guess that makes me a coward. But the air here smells foul. I think I've lived through too many cycles. Had this been my first deployment or second, I would probably have shot Marjorie for abusing her powers already. But there is something about her. I can't bear to kill her myself. So, in the coward's way, I'm hoping that a stray bullet will do the trick, before she taps too deep into her powers and consumes us all. I'm on a train now, heading towards the next battlefield. The others are sleeping or resting. I guess they are unaware that Saka handlers never sleep, because one of them gave me a pillow. Orin, I think. I cannot even remember what it's like to dream. I'd like to make a personal request to whomever finds this tape. I will place it upon my body, and it is very likely that in the next battles to come we will all die. I want my entire pension to be given to my sister, and if any piece of my body can be recovered, I want it to be cremated and sent to her in the form of ashes. I have no friends to ask to pray for me, so I will do so myself. We serve the Emperor with our faith and devotion, and with faith there must also sometime come sacrifice. We all tremble before His Majesty, for we all walk in His immortal shadow. If you are at the God Emperor, I ask but one thing: that you take me before you take Marjorie. I don't think I could bear the humiliation of losing a fifth cycle. End of personal logs, personal musings. My Saka handler Vincent. Decryption code Beta. Handler eyes only. End recording.